All right. Here on set, as you can see, I have two very young and energetic people. And with me is Tabitha Wanjogu from Consolata School. She is just in Form 1, going to Form 2, if I didn't get that wrong. But she'll be introducing herself as well, accompanied by Maureen Wambui, who's an official at Menta, has been there during the program that ended in 2022. Let's get into it. If you have any questions, remember at Richard_Kenya at KUTV Kenya. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Right. I think I'll begin with you because you're closest to me.
Okay.
How are you, first of all?
I'm fine. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Right. How's the new year for you?
The new year has been really good. Spending time with family, doing assignments, and all of that stuff.
Right. Okay. So you are a finalist, or you were a finalist at Menta 2022. Maybe tell us about you being a finalist and what Menta is.
Okay. So Menta is a program for students in high school and also for people who have finished Form 4. So it is a mentorship program that lasts for 2 weeks, and you learn a lot of different skills. You interact with different advisors, and you learn a lot.
Right. Maureen, you are an official. Are you a mentor as well? Could you call you a mentor at Menta?
Not really. I'm just an official and worked with getting to reach out to parents and also schools concerning Menta. Yeah.
So, how is the new year for you? I realize you're the only one I didn't ask how you are and how your year is. How are you and how's been your year so far?
Okay, so let me also take this opportunity to thank you for having us here. The year has been good so far. It's amazing and it's bringing new things. And
just generally excited for the new year.
Yeah.
Of course, as we all are. Yeah. So Menta is Menta, MENTA. It's not Menta TOR. So if you're checking out their website, those who are asking, they can't get mentor.africa. It's Menta, MENTA.Africa. Thank you, of course, for that feedback, Nelly, who's asking about that. It's Menta.Africa. Let's get into the conversation, guys. And I think I'll begin with you, of course, you being an official at Menta.Africa. What is the goal? As she's told us already, of course, it's geared towards high school students, a 2 weeks program, ensuring that they are getting mentorship skills. Looking at your website, it says it's trying to also democratize education. Maybe a little understanding of what Menta aims to do for these high school students.
Okay, Menta is basically aimed at producing quality members of the community and also across Africa. As a goal that we have, and basically we do that by impacting their career decisions and also informing them through having them experience it as young as they could be, or even after high school, even while in campus. So it's something that you can go and explore your area of your career choice and get to have a firm foundation, having the innovation in whatever you'd want to become in future.
All right. Tabitha, as you got to learn about Menta, but first of all, how did you get to know about Menta?
Okay, so my kindergarten friend, she goes to Alliance. So her mom sent the link to Menta to my mom, and she told me about Menta. She told me it's a program I should do in the holidays, and that's how I came to learn about Menta.
All right. Yeah. How was the experience for you?
The experience was really good. I learned so much. I got so much advice from the different speakers we had each day. I also got a lot of career guidance. I remember there was one session which were for lawyers, on like the people who want to pursue law. So there was speakers who did law or like are doing law, and they were talking to us about law, and I really got to learn so much about law because that's a career interest of mine.
Right. That's a very good approach because, in high school, well, I think I will speak for my time. We never got the chance to know about careers or career opportunities, also even learn from the people who are actively pursuing that career before we get there. So it is important that is done as early as possible. And you said you're in You're just in Form 1.
Yes.
I can't imagine how it will be like by the time you're in Form 4, right? And that's an exciting start, of course, for Menta to be trying to reach out to students as early as possible. How many institutions have you been to so far, or what is the pool of students that are under Menta right now?
So far, we have been to a number of schools, and we tried to get to at least all of them last year, but had most of them join. We were also able to have 125 students join the program last year, and got to register even more, 300 plus students in the program. So yeah, we are hoping to grow in terms of the number we reach out to students, and yeah, get it across Kenya and also Africa.
Right. What is the pool of, how does the pool of mentors look like?
Okay, you can elaborate that.
The professionals that she was talking about, the ones who come through to during that 2-week period, how robust across careers is it?
Oh, okay. So we basically focused on common courses like law, medicine, and engineering. Yeah. So far that's how far we went. But we are increasing the pool of careers and people who are going to take them through what they want. Yeah.
2 weeks, Tabitha, the period that you were there for this program, from the first day all the way to the last day, apart from maybe getting to listen to these mentors, were there any other activities? I don't know, maybe games or some other fun activities around also?
Yeah, there were modules which we had about each day. So these modules were very interactive. They had different type of topics. For example, financial literacy and other stuff like that, budgeting. So what we used to do, we used to have those modules each day, and we used to work on them. We used to type it out or write it out and send it was a question and answer, and we used to watch videos and answer questions on that. So once we were done, we used to send them to the mentor team, and they would go through that, and yeah.
Right. Must have been a very intense, was it as intense as school? Or
okay. So apart from the modules, we also had teams. So these teams we had different teams. So these teams were assigned with different businesses or companies. For example, I was in Team Neutrons, and our company was electronics manufacturer. So we had to meet about each day to discuss, like, how to start a company, our name, all of the basics about a company. So I would say it was very intensive. With the modules and the teamwork, it was intensive, but it was worth it.
All right. It was worth it, of course, and that's what we're trying to say, that it's worth it for those who might want to join. The joining process or the application process, how does that look like? Maybe there's a school that wants to be part of this, or an individual who wants to be part of this. How do they do that?
Okay, through the website that you had posted earlier.
Right.
There is an application platform on the first page, and you can also download the app from Play Store. It's also Menta. And from the app, you will be provided with an application platform from which you'll be able to access the form. Then filling is just online, and after filling, you will be contacted.
Right.
Yeah.
That's for anyone, individual or a school, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you doing this program in the schools, or do you have a place where you set up, or is it online? How do the 2 weeks period look like? Do you go from school to school, or what's the organization around it?
Okay, the program was set and has been online. Basically, we get to reach out to the students through the schools, but mobilize them into the program, which happens over the holidays. So it has been online. Yeah.
Okay. Any plans of making it physical, maybe in the future?
Yeah. There are plans to make it physical, because we are actually planning to have a program with the Form 4 leavers, and they will be involved in actual work that might be also submitted online, but having them going into the field, not teams and submitting work and theory, but actually having it practical. And also we plan on having STEM programs for them, whereby they will be educated on the engineering and technology bit, which will also be more physical. But
right.
yeah, so plans about it will also.
Right. Caleb, if you're watching this, of course, please make it physical as soon as possible. I know he is watching. He said I make sure that I do this justice. So I'm glad that he's joining, but he's watching. Please do send in your message and tell us where you're watching from and why you couldn't make it, also to accompany your people onto the show. But now, getting back to this, Tabitha, for someone who's just hearing this for the first time, a student who's out there, or a parent to a student, right? And they're watching you here saying, oh, that's a young lady already here, of course, getting mentored towards a very focused career path. How would you entice them also to join? Maybe drop them some breadcrumbs and tell them to be excited for this as well.
Okay, so I really recommend you to join, because each day you have a different speaker to come to tell you, to advise you. So they have different life stories, and they really inspire you and give you so much advice. So you can imagine the advice you get over the course of 2 weeks. You also have a chance to be in a team and to do teamwork, and that's really informative, because you get to know whether you're a team player, you're a leader, different positions in a team, and it's really fun to work with people. You also learn a lot. For me, I learned a lot, like in the modules, because I didn't know anything about financial literacy, and it really helped me to get more information about different type of stuff in the modules. So yeah.
Right, and I'm just getting it now that there's, of course, more than just going through the mentorship. There's teamwork, getting to learn also other soft skills as well, how to be dedicated to a team, how to organize around, business with other people, and that's really important. What does the future look like for Menta? When I look at the website here, I see there's Menta Kids also for primary school kids, for high school kids, and also Menta Gap Year, which you just said there, tailored for students who are just getting out of Form 4. What does the future look like for Menta?
Yeah, basically we, as in the website, we intend to have the STEM program also with the children, and also find a way to reach out to the Form 4 leavers. We also plan to have a SheEO company program for the women, and also empower them. And also there are plans to have the program also running for students in high school during the holidays, and have one mentor program like the one in 2022, this year, 2023. Yeah.
All right. Back to Tabitha. You a finalist, which you were second runners-up? Third?
Yes.
All right. What was your project around? I'd love to know. And as you say that, I want to hear from Maureen on what was the decision in choosing the finalist, or the winner among the finalists. What was the top project, and what exactly made it win? But also just to hear about your project and what that was about.
Okay, so for my project, I'll say I had a part as a legal counsel in my group. So for that, I had to research a lot about the legal formalities in my company, which is an electronics manufacturer. So I had to research a lot about, purchasing the land, different legal formalities that is needed in my company. So I feel like that was my project. I also presented that during the last day of the program. I also did the module work, which everyone is supposed to do. Yeah.
I bet you felt like a real business person.
Yes.
Presenting your project. Are you intending to pursue it, maybe even as you continue with the high school?
I have like 3 career options. So like the first one's law, then computer science, then software engineering.
Yeah.
But like computer science and software engineering are kind of in the same like cohorts. So yeah, but I would like to pursue it.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you, in your project, there was all those elements, the,
Yes, this is-
part, the computer aspect, and also the legal aspect. So you don't have to drop any, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure thing. Maureen, what was the top project and why?
Okay, the top project was a honey company, but our decision on who came first and how they were selected, it was based on how timely they were, how organized the work was, how much research they put in it, and the effort to go the extra mile. Yeah, so it was so much being observed. And actually, when you look at what Tabitha did in their farm and her legal bit, she actually did a research on what Chinese do in terms of land management, which is something we thought of two intense research that she had done on her work. Yeah.
That's really it's really exciting to see that someone in Form 1 can research. As early as that. I can't tell you what I used to do with computers, but you can bet it's not research. Probably during the beginning phase of Facebook. So mostly I was just setting up my Facebook account and sending in messages here and there. I didn't know that I need to do legal research, need to understand the world of IT and electronics. So I can't imagine what it will look like for you once you're out of Form 4. A wealth of knowledge and of course experience that is very resourceful outside here. Do they get to go back? Can she reapply next year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always a new experience, having also another pool of mentors coming on board. Yeah, so it's something she can always reapply to and get new experience every day.
Right. Apart from maybe at the end of the program, of course, we have a finalist. We call out the top project, and also award the rest. Do they still get to keep in touch with the mentors and maybe reach out to them outside of school, or how's that arrangement looking like? As part of the rewards, they will be able to contact some of the mentors and also get mentored through whatever career paths they'd want. So mentorship is also provided from then on. Yeah. Okay, and I'm still with you. Of course, you being one of the organizers of this project here. For the Form 4 leavers, which you just mentioned, we currently do have Form 4 leavers, yeah? Is there follow-up to these Form 4 leavers coming through to the mentor program for this gap year that they're experiencing beginning now, or how is that looking like?
How we get to them?
Is that process applying to the current cohort of Form 4 leavers as well?
Yeah, we are trying to reach out to them. We are currently reaching out to them and getting them into the program for this April.
Right. This program is an annual affair, right? I understand that this last 2022 Menta X program happened towards the tail end of the year. Is that the same for this year, or when are applications open for high school students or teachers of high schools or parents of high school students who want to come through?
Okay, there is the annual program that happens during the December holiday, but we also have other programs running throughout the year. So usually application is through the process, through the app, and it's something that goes on throughout the year for the different programs that come up during the year. So like for the April program, there will be a provision for application of the April program. There will be a provision for the application of the December program, and so forth. So it comes up. So the thing is, you can always get into the app and get more informed about the programs that are coming up.
Right, so check out the Menta app, which is MENTA for you, menta.africa. You can also look at the website and get some of those pieces of information that we've been sharing here. Just maybe a little bit of feedback before I come back for a last word from each of you. Here I see Elijah Kimani wa Kandara, tuning in from Kandara, Muranga, all the way in Kandara, Muranga. Also, thank you very much for tuning in, saying good morning. Here I have Judith Kitui, who's saying my daughter was a part of this, and for sure, it was worth it. So we have a testimonial here from a parent who had a student, of course, coming through to Menta.x. I see here Waithira from Nakuru saying, good morning, I am up. I wish I had a kid to go to high school and get mentored because I am out of high school. Don't worry, you can inform the ones who are around you. And Form 4 leavers, primary school kids, Mentor for kids, there's Mentor for high school students, and that Mentor gap year, of course, that you can get to be checking out. A comment from Menta itself, looking awesome team. So it looks like you've you've represented Menta really well. A last word from each of you, but I'll first begin with you, Tabitha. Okay. Being in, we just of course saw students, KCP students being selected to join Form 1, and of course mostly it's enda shule usome upate A na utoke, si ndio? Utoke ukuje ukue daktari, mko engineer, or I don't know what people are being told these days. Also, I have to say that it's really great to see that software engineering and IT and computer science is a thing that students are saying these days they want to do. I remember, again, during my time in high school, all we had was 3 options: engineering, medicine, and law. And then hiyo ingine ni masomo ya campus. And then, right now we come to understand that the dynamics of the world of work are changing. So it's good to see that. But my question was leading up to, apart from, going to school, sticking to class, I need you to do a call out on the importance of doing these extracurricular activities outside of class, getting mentorship, coming up with business ideas. How important is that for those who are joining? Just an advice to these KCP students I'm seeing here who will be joining Form 1 in a few weeks. Just tell them to also explore those opportunities like Menta.
Okay, so I feel like Menta is a very great exposure for you, because in school we don't learn about such stuff that is taught in Menta. School is more centered on just academics, books. Doesn't really prepare you for the outside life. It doesn't really prepare you for how to start a business, what you need to start a business. So Menta is a really great exposure for you. You can do it in the holidays when you have time, and you can really explore your interests, and you can learn more about stuff that you didn't know. Yeah.
Right. Maureen, call out to the people to come through to Menta.
Okay, Menta is such a great platform, as we've heard from the feedback. And it's it's amazing that we have one of the finalists here with us to confirm that for us. And it's an amazing way that bridges the gap between education and getting out there to life and actually doing what you want to do with life. And it sets the path for you, making you informed about whatever you'd want to do. As maybe a journalist, as a doctor, as a lawyer, you might think that's what you want to do, but you actually don't know what it takes to study 6 years in medical school, or how much time you'll have spending sleepless nights on books. So it's an amazing opportunity to actually interact with people in campus, and also interact with people already in the job market, or also CEOs, and come up with innovative ways of being the better person in future, being the better lawyer in future, being the better doctor in future. So it's an amazing program. Yeah. And right. I'm really grateful. Maybe you can correct on something. We are having the Form 4 leavers program this March, not April. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
so that's one of the things they should be looking out for, the Form 4 program in March, and then also in December there's that high school students mentorship program. And also, as you said, in between the year, there's other things they can be looking at.
Yes, there will be the SheEO program coming up, and we'll also
SheEO.
Yeah, SheEO, the female
CEOs.
Yes.
That's really creative. SheEO. So I'm a HeEO if if there was that at all, check out for that. Is there any other? If we missed out on the events that are coming up,
maybe during the holidays, we will also have an activity going on for the high school students.
Okay, please do check out that. You mentioned there, of course, CEOs, and I was looking at the team, the Menta team. Of course, Caleb has been here for an interview on KUTV Rise Today last year, who's the project lead at Menta, mechatronic engineer from JQuat. Just mention a few others. James Moria, who's the CEO of Prudential Group, is also a mentor here. CEO of Great Lions Limited. Seeing here the Deputy Vice Chancellor of JQuat, also a mentor in Mentor.Africa, CEO of Tanda, counseling psychologist, Oxford University Rhodes Scholar, CEO for Bridge for Billions, former CEO Kenya Airways, that is Mr. Mbuvi Ngunze, Cyril Michino, who was a classmate of mine back then in high school, CEO of Chapter Global, mentor as well there. And, the list is endless. You can get to have a look at it, Mentor.Africa, and do that application. Just when I was scrolling down, I just found a figure. I just found a figure here. Can you tell us a little bit about this figure?
Okay.
2,500 Kenyan shillings.
Yeah.
I think we didn't get to speak about that.
Yeah. So, application and registration for the program. The annual program is 2,500. But for the Form 4 leavers, which will go on for 1 month, it will be 7,000 shillings for each student who will be on board. We understand that it's going to be a long period, interaction with various mentors, and also having them go into the field and actually doing the actual work. Yeah, so it's going, it's worth.
It's worth the 2,500 for high school students and 7,000 for Form 4 leavers. Maybe I read a bit of feedback before we wrap it up. Here are testimonials from some of those who've been with this program. I just read 2 of them. One is Abraham Ogoch from the Great Alliance High School. Says, I thought I was improving myself day by day until I joined the Mentor program in early April 2021. The Mentor program has helped me to be more open-minded and social than I was in high school, and preparing me more for my future. There's that socializing aspect, by the way, which I missed out on, because, getting to also build up a social skill of interaction with people, negotiations as well are really important in the real world. It's really easy to be an introvert in high school and just be silent all through the 4 years. So it's important to also interact with other students. Just a last testimony here from Lillian Moigals Eldred. It is very demanding, but the mentor is always there, ensuring that you're keeping up and you're up to date, which is very rare in most programs. Most of the time, newly set programs have a downfall due to the weak foundation built, but Mentor tackled this right from the start by providing each mentee with a mentor that is responsible and up to the task. Check them out, Mentor.Africa. We'll be uploading this conversation later on YouTube, KUTV Kenya. Check it out. And if you have any questions, any follow-up, please make sure you do that on all our social channels, and we'll be pushing it through to the people at Mentor.Africa. Very great platform, as you've heard from students, primary school kids, high school kids, and also Form 4 leavers. Check it out and tell us what your experience was like. Thank you guys for coming through to the show.
Thank you.
Mnatuma salamu ama tumalize? All right, asante sana. We're going to take that short break here on KUTV Kenya, and then I'll be back on Biashara Tuesday with more on what is happening in the dailies. But later on, there's that conversation on data science and also data analytics. How important is it for you in business, but also because we just spoke about education and also mentorship. They are providing, that is Bounty Analytica, providing training for people who are interested in data science. So if you're a Form 4 leaver, you pass through Mentor, alafu unapitia Bounty Analytica. So exciting, don't go too far.